Live from the Followup Broadcast Center, you're watching KFDM 6 News at 6 in HD.
When he did that, he took a whale. She can't be replaced.
The daughter and granddaughter of 79-year-old Minnie Siebold, remembering what they call an extraordinary woman. She was killed in the Jefferson County Courthouse shootings.
This is something they'll never forget in their life. They weren't physically harmed, but they had to witness a horrific event.
And one day later, the Jefferson County Emergency Management Coordinator is reflecting on those who saw and heard the shootings. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Leger.
And I'm Kelly Phillips. Thank you for joining us. Some employees have returned to their jobs at the Jefferson County Courthouse, but workers say it cannot and will not be business as usual for quite some time. One day after a gunman shot and killed a woman and injured 3 other people, investigators are working to learn more about what happened and why. Here's an update. The 41-year-old suspect, Bartholomew Granger, is in jail and charged with murder. A judge has set a $3 million bond for murder and a $1 million bond on aggravated sexual assault. Granger was on trial in Judge John Stevens' court, and investigators are trying to determine if there's a link between the trial and the shootings. His daughter and ex-wife were shot. They both were witnesses in the trial. The daughter is in critical condition. The ex-wife and another woman and an innocent bystander were treated and released. 79-year-old Minnie Siebold of Deweyville also died in the shootings. She had driven a relative to the courthouse to help her apply for veterans benefits. Investigators say Granger began the shooting shortly after 11 yesterday morning. They say he shot his daughter and then ran over her and fired more shots, striking additional victims as he drove a pickup truck down the street. Officers fired dozens of shots at his truck. He received minor injuries and ran inside a business a couple of blocks away where he took hostages. Workers finally took away his gun and officers arrested Granger. We have team coverage again today. 6 News reporter Lindsay Kovacevic begins our coverage. She joins us live from the courthouse with new information. Lindsay?
That's right, Kelly. I'm here outside the Jefferson County Courthouse here in downtown Beaumont. Now, officers were out here again today finishing up their investigations. Behind me, caution tape has been removed. They did wash down the streets here, and they're finishing up fixing that front door in anticipation for tomorrow morning's opening.
Crime scene tape blocks the entrance to the Jefferson County Courthouse while bailiffs stand guard. They turn away people who have come to settle and resolve issues that on any other day would be handled here.
Most offices that you would normally see the doors wide open and be able to look in and see employees, those doors are shut.
Shut down so officers can finish their investigation. State troopers retrace every step of the crime scene before, during, and after the shooting.
Glass and some bullets did enter the front of the courthouse, but the shooter never entered the courthouse as the shooter.
Greg Fountain is the Jefferson County Emergency Management Coordinator. He believes the courthouse security kept the shooting outside. Without
security, without metal detectors, the same suspect could have brought a weapon into the courtroom and endangered many more people.
It's a quiet, somber day here at the courthouse. People aren't coming and going as usual, and the ground is wet in an attempt to wash away the reminders of yesterday's mass shooting.
Our thoughts and prayers are with the family.
Jefferson County Sheriff Mitch Woods says Bartholomew Granger used a .40 caliber semi-automatic rifle called a Beretta CX-4 Storm Smith & Wesson carbine. This is a picture of a gun similar to the one investigators say the suspect used.
They worked well into the early morning hours this morning, just processing the crime scene out here.
You can't look into someone's heart and know what's in their mind and know what evil a man will do.
Fountain says counseling is available to courthouse employees. He hopes this is a reminder what happened at the courthouse can happen anywhere.
People just need to be more mindful, don't walk with their head down, know what's going on around them. It might save their life if they're paying attention.
Once again, the courthouse will be open tomorrow morning. It'll resume normal hours starting at 8 o'clock. That's what, according to Greg Fountain. Also, workers were here today. Employees were here today resuming their normal jobs. Reporting live in Beaumont, Lindsay Kovacevic, KFDM 6 News.
Relatives of the woman killed in yesterday's shooting describe her as an extraordinary person. The daughter and granddaughter of 79-year-old Minnie Seabolt say she had amazing energy, and even though she was grieving the loss of her husband last year, she still found time to help family and friends. 6 News reporter Megan Dillard spoke with her family, and Megan's in the studio tonight with more.
Bill, Minnie Ray Seabolt died at the scene during Wednesday's shootings. The 79-year-old was there running an errand with a family member. We sat down with Minnie's daughter and granddaughter in Minnie's home in Deweyville. They gave us a look into the life of a woman they say would do anything for anyone.
This is her. This is her.
Deborah Holst has suffered an incredible loss.
My mother was murdered. There's no other way to say it. She was actually murdered.
Her mother, 79-year-old Minnie Ray Seabolt, was shot and killed Wednesday outside the Jefferson County Courthouse. She picked up a family member in Deweyville and drove to the courthouse to help the relative get VA benefits.
She was just an extraordinary, enthusiastic woman that never had a bad day.
Holst says her mother was known for helping others.
Was always with a smile on her face, always ready to help anybody.
Through tears, laughter, and pictures, Minnie's family shared the story of her life.
My grandma was not the best driver. She's probably...
We couldn't keep up with her. She was just that active and that energetic and that motivated.
To take my grandma under such senseless circumstances, it's just beyond my comprehension.
Her family believes Minnie would forgive the man who shot her.
I don't think she'd have a grudge. I think she would just say, you know, it's my time to go. I'm with my son, both my husbands, all her brothers and sisters that have passed before her.
A life well lived, says her family, but a life that was far from over.
When he did that, he took a whale. She came.
An example of that full life, Minnie was a notary public, an election judge, and a landlord. She was planning to go whitewater rafting in June. The family will start making funeral arrangements tomorrow. Reporting live in the studio, Megan Dillard, KFDM 6 News.
Many people saw not only what happened outside the courthouse, but blocks away as well. That's how far the crime scene stretched. 6 News reporter Callie Desimone joins us from Milam Street with details. Callie?
We want to give you a little bit of a perspective as the scene location unfolded here. As you can see down here on my left, that's the courthouse. Now, if you come just another block up here, this is Milam and Park. That is where police were able to stop the vehicle that Granger was driving. If you come just a little bit further down the block, you can see this white and tan building. That's Richard Construction. That's where they were finally able to get a hold of him. Now, in this span of blocks, there were several individuals who witnessed what happened.
One of them actually saw the gunman run by.
Jim Rich is the president of the Beaumont Chamber of Commerce. He was on his way to the office when one of his co-workers called him, told him what happened, and said to stay away from the building. That wasn't an option.
I walked in because I had four female staff who were there, and 3 of them mostly heard the shooting.
Investigators say 41-year-old Bartholomew Granger shot 4 people, including 79-year-old Minnie Seabolt, who died. A total of 9 police officers and deputies exchanged gunfire with Granger.
Police tailed the vehicle Bartholomew Granger was driving to this street. The president of the Beaumont Chamber of Commerce says he's glad Granger didn't enter his building.
Well, I don't know why he didn't run to the Chamber of Commerce. I mean, it was the closest first thing he would see.
He drove about 2 blocks with the tires shot out in the pickup truck filled with bullet holes. The glass shattered and covered the street. Granger ran inside Richard Construction, took hostages, and finally gave up after some of the workers took away his gun.
I heard a pop sound, and I continued to work because I didn't think anything unusual. And then I heard another pop.
Michelle Burma is the manager at a law office on Milam. Burma says she'll never forget what she saw and heard Wednesday.
At that time, that's when I heard several shots repetitively. And I thought, oh my God, something is really going on out here.
Burma decided to look out her door.
Later, I did see the vehicle. At that time, of course, I did not know that this was the gentleman that they were in pursuit, and I did see the police cars behind that vehicle.
Images Burma is replaying in her mind. Burma makes it a practice to lock the doors. Now she says she'll check and double check.
Just to be safe. Just to be safe.
Now, the president of the Beaumont Chamber of Commerce said to me that he's discussed new safety protocol with his employees, and they're making some changes to make his building more secure. Reporting live in Beaumont, Callie Desimone, KFDM 6 News.
The brother of the man charged with the shootings was arrested last night during a news conference in Houston with Quan LX.
Major low with the sheriff's department.
He has a felony warrant on him. My officer's here to execute that warrant.
Does he have anything to do with the shooting today?
I don't know.
If this is truly done for public safety, I can understand, but this seems very suspicious to me.
Jefferson County Sheriff's deputies arrested Lyndon Granger on a warrant issued by a judge Wednesday. He's charged with sexually assaulting the same girl for which his brother was on trial. Lyndon's bond was out on bond. Reports say the judge in the case issued the warrant Wednesday in part to protect the public going forward. And a reminder, stay with KFDM News and KFDM.com for the latest on the courthouse shooting investigation. You can watch all of the video reports from yesterday, and soon we'll post tonight's stories. We also have a number of tech stories about the shootings and their aftermath.
Coming up on KFDM News at 6, a state lawmaker is upset with her local Catholic church, even though she's a member of the congregation. We'll tell you why.
And a man who was determined to end his life went out in a violent way. We'll explain when KFDM News at 6 continues.
Now, in high definition, you're watching KFDM 6 News at 6 in HD. With Bill Leger, Kelly Phillips, the latest weather with Chief Meteorologist Greg Bostwick, and sports with Mike Friedman.
In tonight's Texas headlines, authorities say a man opened fire on San Antonio police officers early this morning, hoping they would return fire and kill him.
Police say they had no choice but to fire back. The man had called a suicide prevention line, and a counselor called police to inform them of the man's location. Authorities found the 51-year-old man about 3 a.m. He raised a pistol at officers and said, "Let's get it on," before opening fire. Officers fired back, and the man was pronounced dead at a hospital. No police officers were injured.
In San Augustine, police arrested a woman for the kidnapping of an infant that was left in her care in 2004. The babysitter disappeared with the 8-month-old baby boy, but the mother, seen there, never gave up hope. Police were investigating the suspect on an unrelated charge that led them to the 2004 allegations against her. The boy, who is about 8 or 9 years old now, is with Houston CPS and is expected to soon be reunited with his mother.
A Texas lawmaker is upset with the Catholic Church she attends in East Austin. Dewana Duke says her church invited her to speak on the contributions of African American women during Black History Month. However, the invitation was withdrawn. Duke believes it's because of her outspoken support of birth control and abortion. The diocese said it didn't want to be seen as endorsing any particular candidate or their agenda.
And we're getting closer to the weekend. We do expect nice weather.
Yeah, it's pretty much holding like we have right now. We're still thinking probably early next week it's going to be pretty nasty. I don't know if nasty, but rain.
Raining.
For some people that's nasty. But anyway, we've got the forecast which features some pretty warm weather too. We'll take a look.
Now, KFDM Chief Meteorologist Greg Bostwick with the latest weather in HD.
Well, lots of clouds continue to cover our area in the morning hours, but enough wind in the afternoon to bust the clouds up a little bit. For example, down at Port Arthur, wind gusts almost 20 miles per hour earlier today is down to 73 degrees. Winds may increase a little bit more as we head into the weekend. Around the state, lots of clouds in place, but some sun able to break through as well. The thickest clouds generally over the North Texas area back down towards Central Texas. And really, that's pretty much where the coolest weather's been located today. Only 71 this afternoon so far in Abilene, 78 Dallas, but further to the south, more sunshine, 87 in Laredo. Also a lot of 80s over the far western areas of the state. Locally, we've been right around 80 degrees. It's 76 now at the airport, 81 up in Alexandria and over in Lufkin, and then further west, upper 70s around Austin and San Antonio, 80 Corpus Christi and Victoria. And we're still right on track for a pretty vigorous storm system to move into Texas by the end of the weekend, early next week. By Tuesday, it'll be situated at the center of the low near Lubbock. All the thunderstorm activity out ahead of that, generally from the lower valley all the way up into the western Great Lakes. And there could be some severe weather with this. Not so much here, but just to our north, up in northeast Texas, up into Missouri, coming up by Tuesday and Wednesday. And certainly we're expecting some pretty heavy rains too in our forecast. Coverage of rain right now at 70% on Tuesday. Around the nation, some shower and thunderstorm activity. In fact, severe weather watches out for portions of the Great Lakes back to the Tennessee Valley. And there's that rain in the west, part of that system, which will be hitting our area next week. The marine forecast sees we'll be running about 2 to 3 feet. Winds mainly out of the south tomorrow to 18 knots. Water temperature at 66, and patches of fog still possible for the lakes, but shouldn't be too extensive. Look for lows to be down to the mid to upper 60s. It looks like tomorrow we'll have also some patches of fog in the morning for the triangle. Our lows will be in the upper 60s to near 70. Carbon copy tomorrow for Friday. We expect a small, possibly of a sprinkle of rain, highs in the low 80s for the lakes, and right around 80 for the triangle tomorrow afternoon. So more good weather for the Heritage Festival down Mid-County in Nederland. And the forecast for the rest of the weekend looks good. We get into Tuesday, though, a very good chance of rain at 70% in the forecast.
Yuck.
Well, spring break for Beaumont is next week.
Well, I know
and the
Beaumont,
fair, right?
Yeah, and they're probably saying yuck too. But here's the good news: it probably will end before the fair opens on Thursday.
That's
good
news.
Good time.
There you go,
Mr. Bostwick.
All
right, thanks, Greg. Well, just ahead with the season over, the 6 Lamar seniors look back on their past and toward their future.
Alex Calling in KFDM Sports coming up next.
Now, KFDM Sports in HD with Alex Calling.
Many have looked at the men's basketball team's first season under Pat Knight and said that it's been quite a roller coaster. For the departing seniors, the ride started long before their knight in shining Under Armour arrived.
It's not until a season is over that a team can fully reflect on a year that was. That reflection delves even deeper when it's a senior that has played his last game.
I'm going to miss it, you know. It's tough, you know. Just the whole Canada trip, you know, the whole incident that happened, you know, a couple of weeks ago. It's fun, man. Like, just, you know, it hurts, you know, because you just have a lot of fun with these guys and you just don't want it to stop, you know.
The 6 seniors on this Lamar team will have mixed emotions. Yes, they will leave Lamar, but they leave the Cardinal program in better shape than when they found it.
You know, everything, you know, don't last forever, and it's going to be tough, you know, just seeing them go away and me go away and leaving this university. But, I mean, I couldn't ask for no more, you know, going to the NCAA and having a chance to play in front of, you know, millions. I'm just, you know, grateful.
I got a feeling we got a conference ring, man. Coach Knight a good coach, man, like one of the best coaches I ever had. And we just like, I'm glad we got a conference ring and we accomplished something. And the East Division, we accomplished everything.
That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring back LU like it's supposed to be brought back. And, you know, it's all a new experience for us. This is my first time ever going to the NCAA tournament, so it's all a great experience.
Moments after Lamar's loss to Vermont, some cards couldn't help but recap some of the off-the-court memories, while others pondered when would be the next time they'd touch the court again, maybe in another uniform.
I was going at it in practice, and Coach Knight, you know, Coach Knight is the best coach that ever coached me, so it was an honor playing for him, and meeting Coach Bob Knight, you know, it's something I'm gonna remember for a lifetime.
I really don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to, after this season, I just want to go pro right now and finish my career out.
Nationally, these seniors will be known for one post-game rant. But the man behind that speech and everyone in Southeast Texas knows they were much more than that. The East Division Championship banner, the Conference Tournament Championship banner, and the NCAA Tournament banner will reiterate and reflect their sentiments long after these cards are gone.
You know, you had winning the division, winning 20 games, going to the tournament, but even none of that stuff had happened. This was still a fun group to coach. And yeah, they had their moments, but all teams have their moments. But you couldn't ask for a better way for kids to respond. And I'm just happy for these 6 seniors to go out. I mean, they made Lamar relevant again. People are talking about us, and it's because of them.
And tough news for Houston Texan fans as Mario Williams, the now ex-Texan linebacker / defensive end, signed a 6-year deal worth up to $100 million with the Buffalo Bills.
Can he get by on that, you think? Is that?
I think he's going to be okay up there. The wings aren't too expensive. So.
Thank you, Alex. Stay tuned. Greg will be back to update our forecast.
After this, a look at the day on Wall Street.
More of the same tomorrow?
Exactly. I want to take a quick look, though. The lake levels are doing much better. Rayburn is up almost 3 feet over last week. Toledo Bend up almost 2 feet, getting close to normal. And our forecast calls for more rain to go into the reservoirs coming up on Tuesday. By the end of next week, we may be close to normal on all the reservoirs. Great news.
We'll finally be normal again.
Yes.
But it probably won't last long. Thanks, Greg. Finally tonight, every now and then, some basketball player makes an incredible shot to win a game at the last second.
We're going to show you a great shot, not by a player this time, but by a fan, and it wasn't just for bragging rights.
The Bucks lead at the half, 57-55. Watch Craig Wombold of Dousman. Yes, that's a $10,000 shot, Craig.
$10,000. They're going to show it again. And apparently what they do is they have 2 people at halftime do free throws, and whoever gets the most in a certain amount of time gets to compete for $10,000.
Incredible shot.
Yeah. Alex can do that. That's not a big deal.
Absolutely.
He just.
The back, no looking.
How much were you paid when you made yours?
I got a $5 gift certificate to pizza.
Excellent. That's where we're going right now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Basketball next.